On Earth, a new ice age is starting when a strange portal shows up in space around the planet. And this portal leads to another place in space where there is a planet that people can live on called Rhea. Thousands of people who are running away from the cold and not having enough food go through the gate to reach the new planet. But most people still have to stay on Earth. When Earth runs out of all the things people need to live, many people start moving to the new planet all at once. But the people who already live on Rhea do not want them to come. Bran Marshall is one of the people trying to get to Rhea without being caught. But when his ship gets close to where it needs to go, other people attack it, and he has to try to stay alive in a small escape pod with his computer friend named Edison. When there are only a few hours of air left to breathe, Edison finds a nearby spaceship called the Nissa. But no one answers when they try to talk to the people on that ship. Edison thinks they should fly over to that ship, but doing that will make them go so fast that it will hurt Bran's body very badly.
How fast are we talking?
G7.
Ouch.
Bran has a special medicine that helps people when they have to go very fast, but he has to put the needle right into his heart to use it. And he knows he has no other choice, so he starts counting down to when they will go to the other ship. The small pod connects with the big ship, and because going so fast hurt his body so much, Bran passes out and remembers his last days on Earth when he and his daughter Riley buried his wife and her mother near her father's house. After they finish burying the dead people, they go back to the grandfather's house where he is saying goodbye to a woman who lives nearby and is complaining about being hungry because nothing will grow on her farm anymore. The old man feels bad for the woman, so he gives her a box of food in cans. But when she leaves, Bran tells the old man he should not have done that because it is dangerous to let anyone know you have food these days, and he thinks they should run away before the neighbor woman can tell other people what she learned about their food.
Show Jane the supplies that we found. It's too dangerous.
The old man says no and will not leave. So in the present time, Bran goes into the big ship and turns on Edison, and they walk through the rooms that are closest to them until Bran finds the bodies of people who are dead. He really wants to know what these people could have been fighting about way out here in space. And soon, he sees a wall that has pictures of all the people who worked on this ship, and he remembers that the people from Rhea think they are much better and smarter than people from Earth. After a while, Bran finds boxes of food and medicine, but then Edison tells him that dangerous radiation is getting stronger, and Bran sees a woman who is pointing a weapon that shoots beams of light at him. She says he killed all the people on the ship, but Bran explains that he just got here and connected his pod to the ship. And the angry woman says that people from Rhea bring supplies to people from Earth, and this is how Earth people pay them back for their kindness. Bran tells her to kill him if she really thinks he did something wrong, but at the same time, he pushes the woman and manages to get away before she can shoot her weapon at him. But the woman knows the ship much better than Bran does, and she hides and waits for him in another hallway where she jumps out and knocks him down to the floor. Bran pushes her away from him again and runs away from her, and he is able to get to the room where they keep medicine and medical equipment, and he locks the doors right before the woman who is chasing him can get inside. He takes some medicine to feel better and sees a container that has the body of one of the people who worked on this ship inside it.
Seems to have been shot.
Well done, Edison.
And close to that container is a screen that shows information about all the people who worked on this ship. Bran looks at the information about the angry woman who has been trying to hurt him, but he still cannot understand what bad thing happened on this ship to make everyone die. Then he sees the woman breaking down the door to get into the medical room, so he hides and waits for her to come inside. And when she does, he hits her on the head very hard to make her fall down and not move, and then he leaves that room. She wakes up very quickly and turns on a system that is supposed to put out fires, but this system takes all the air out of the rooms, so people cannot breathe. Bran finds a pipe that has air coming out of it, and he breathes the air right from that pipe when the woman who is chasing him shows up again. And this time, she is wearing a mask so she can breathe, and the two of them start fighting each other. And even though Bran is weak and tired, he is able to make the woman fall down and not move again, while Edison makes the air come back into the rooms. Bran leaves the woman from Rhea lying on the floor where she cannot move, and he goes to the main control room of the ship to get Edison ready to work with the computer that runs the ship. But Edison tells Bran something very surprising, which is that the people from Rhea do not like artificial intelligence, and they blame it for making Earth a bad place to live. So there is no artificial intelligence computer on this ship at all. And in almost 600 years of people from Rhea building their society, they have not become much more advanced than people from Earth. Even though there is no ship computer for Edison to work with, Edison still gets into the system that controls the ship. All of a sudden, the woman has gotten better, and she starts hitting the door very hard and tells him he must not press the part of the control screen that is glowing with light.
What?
Touch that!
Yeah?
You don't
You don't want me to
understand!
touch it, right?
No.
You don't want me to touch this?
But Bran does not want to listen to what she says because he does not understand why people from Rhea think they can decide which people are allowed to live on Rhea and which people are not allowed to live there, especially since all the people from Rhea originally came from Earth too. But for some reason that does not make sense. People from Rhea think it is right for them to shoot down ships and stop their own people from going to the planet that should belong to everyone. And because he wants to make the woman from Rhea angry, he presses the button that is glowing. A loud warning sound starts making noise, and the woman falls down on her knees because she cannot believe that he really did press that button. Edison tells Bran that he does not like what Bran just did without thinking about it first. And Edison warns him that something very bad is going to happen because of what he did. And right after Edison says this, the gravity becomes much stronger and pushes Bran down to the floor very hard. We see what happened in the past again, and we understand that Bran cannot make his wife's father agree to leave the house. Bran goes outside to the field and digs up a box that has the money he worked for and saved so that his daughter could pay to go to Rhea. But Riley says she will not leave her family members behind, and Bran and her grandfather think they are too old to try to start living a completely new life somewhere else. All of a sudden, a loud warning sound starts making noise. Bran tells the girl to hide inside a big container while he picks up a weapon to protect them. And back in the present time, Bran wakes up while Edison explains that someone turned off the ship's systems on purpose. Someone broke the system that tells the ship where to go, so the ship could not control where it was flying. And after Bran turned the engines back on, it became impossible to turn them off again. When they get to the signal beacon, the pulling force of a small planet will change the direction they are flying, and they will definitely crash into the station where refugees live, and this will kill hundreds more people. Bran knows he cannot fix this problem by himself, but as soon as he opens the door, the woman jumps at him and tries to attack him, so he forces her to sit down in a chair, and he says that she and the other people from Rhea planned this accident to kill refugees. She thinks that people from Earth caused the accident, and she explains that the ship called the Nissa was bringing food and supplies to the station where people from Earth live, but during a check of what was on the ship, someone found cargo that was not supposed to be there and was not written down in the ship's records.
So the authority told us to wait.
This one's not on the manifest.
While people were trying to find out what this secret cargo was, she went to sleep. She woke up because she heard the sounds of people shooting weapons at each other, and the captain who was dying told her that he had turned off all the ship's systems, so she ran to the main control room to try to find out what had happened, and that was when Bran came in and made everything much worse. Bran tells her again that he connected his small pod to the ship only after all the bad things had already happened, and he thinks about the man whose body was in the container in the medical room. And she tells him that man's name was Decker. Maybe Decker killed all the people who worked on the ship before he went to the medical room to die. And the woman tells Bran that her name is Osha. Bran sees that she is wearing a bracelet on her arm, like the ones that criminals have to wear. And Osha says that she kills people from Earth. And they keep arguing with each other until Edison tells them that if they want to stay alive, they have to work together to solve their problems.
If you want to live, you have to work together.
The computer explains that the ship is flying through an area of space that has lots of broken pieces of metal and rock floating around. Bran cannot stop himself from saying that these broken pieces are what is left of ships from Earth that were shot down by people from Rhea, but Edison will not let them start another fight. Osha will have to go into the part of the ship where the engines are, where there is a big hole in the wall, and she has to disconnect the engines so they can control where the ship goes. At the same time, Bran has to pull a special handle from inside the ship, and when Osha leaves to do her job, she makes a rude gesture toward people from Earth. Right when this happens, Decker wakes up and gets out of the medical container. Osha is working on disconnecting the first engine when Bran tells her there are lots of broken pieces coming toward them, and the hole in the wall is very big, and they start working on the second engine when Osha runs out of air, and Bran has to help her breathe again. After that, Edison explains that they need to take control of the engines at exactly the same time and work together perfectly. So both of them grab the control sticks, and the ship starts going in a different direction, but they get shaken around very badly. They do another move to change direction, and both fall down, because moving so fast is too hard for their bodies. But they have to get up and keep working because they are not finished yet. After the third turn, Bran almost passes out, so Osha puts his arm bone back in the right place after it got moved, and he loses consciousness because the pain is so bad. And he remembers when neighbors came to take their food supplies. The neighbors came because the old man had shown them that they had supplies.
We're gonna need you to hand that all over, I'm afraid.
and the grandfather tells them to leave, but the neighbor says he cannot because his family has no food and his parents died from hunger. To make them cooperate, the neighbor tells someone to find Riley, and one man opens the container where she is hiding, so the old man and Bran start shooting and kill them. Riley runs out only to see that the neighbor's wife also has a weapon and shoots at her, and Bran gets hurt but kills the woman, and back in the present, Osha sees a picture of Riley, and Bran says he lost his daughter. Osha surprises him by saying she also lost her family. Because the government of Rhea did not like that, they tried to help people from Earth, and she does not understand the political reasons. Many people from Rhea do not agree that people from Earth are bad and should not come through the gate, and Bran says he did not want to leave Earth, but had to, because he promised his daughter he would survive. Edison tells him that to survive, they still need to work, and now Bran must go into the room that controls where the ship goes and remove the burned equipment. But it is minus 40 degrees cold in there. Bran puts on his special suit, and Osha laughs at how he looks.
Is that your spacesuit?
Yeah?
Remembering Rhea, where it is always warm. But Earth used to be warm too before the Ice Age started. Bran goes into the very cold room and looks for the burned equipment. While Bran works in the cold room, Decker breaks one of the control switches, and Osha sees him do this and goes to talk to him. And she is shocked by what he is doing, since he is also a refugee from Earth. Decker tells her he had no choice because people from Rhea took his children and said they would kill them if he did not destroy the refugee station, which is a clever plan because it makes it look like someone from Earth killed his own people. But before Decker can destroy the station, he has to kill Osha first. And while this happens, Bran finishes his work and asks Osha to let him back in the ship, but Osha is busy fighting for her life. Bran is very cold and tries to get out through another door, but to fit through the small opening, he must take off his protective gear, and with the last bit of strength he has, he opens the metal cover and falls down into the hallway, where Osha hits Decker hard enough to make him unconscious and runs to help Bran by putting him in a medical container. Edison tells them that they did what they needed to do successfully. After they restart the computer system, the ship's controls will work again. And sometime later, Bran wakes up and gets out of the container while Osha tells him everything she learned from talking to Decker.
He's a refugee like you. He made it to the surface with his family before they arrested him.
Bran thinks they should show the video of what Decker said to the people from Rhea so that the government will have to explain what they did. But first, they must finish their work, and while they talk, Decker wakes up again. Edison warns them that very strong forces are coming that will push their bodies very hard. So Bran goes to the cargo area to get the medicine while Osha works on the control system, which can be fixed by pulling out one of the wires on the control panel. The problem is that Edison does not know which wire to pull, so they will have to try different ones. While Osha does that work, Bran finds not only the medicine, but also a very big bomb, and he runs to the main control room, but Decker hits him on the head very hard, and Osha has to choose between two wires, and one of them controls the system that keeps people alive, which takes 3 minutes to start working again. This means she will have to stop breathing for that amount of time, and she does not want to do it, but she gets lucky and picks the right wire. And while this happens, Decker says he is sorry to Bran, but he will do anything to save his family.
They're never gonna let us all go down to Rhea. See how it is.
All of a sudden, the forces get stronger again, and Bran remembers the day he found Riley hurt very badly and dying, and the girl gave him Edison in her last moments because she had created the computer herself, and she made him promise that he would leave Earth. In the present time, Edison gives Osha the final instructions and asks her not to die, and Bran puts the medicine in his body and goes to help Osha while fighting Decker and winning the fight. And with the last strength he has, he gets to the control room in time to give Osha the medicine that helps with strong forces. He remembers the day of Riley's funeral when his wife's father told him to keep the promise he made to her, because maybe he really could change something in this world. And that was when he turned on Edison for the first time. In the present, Osha and Bran wake up, as Edison explains that to get full control of the ship back, they must restart all the computer systems, which means Edison will go back to how it was when it was first made and lose all its memories. Bran cannot accept this, but Edison sees no other way to fix things. Edison has already put Decker's confession video into the system, and after they restart everything, the video will be shown to everyone, so they will all learn about the bad things the government did. And maybe then, everything will change for the better. Bran says goodbye to Edison and restarts the system. The ship changes direction and moves away from the station. And with the last strength he has, Decker turns on the bomb. And the people on the control deck see this happening right away. So Osha points the ship toward the gate, while Bran takes the bomb to the door that opens to space. But when she thinks everything is going the way they planned, he tells her that the small door will not open. So he will put on a suit and go out into space carrying the bomb. And soon Osha sees an explosion in space and she feels sad about Bran dying, when suddenly she hears someone hitting on the window. Bran comes back to the ship, and together they look at Earth, which is covered in ice, and they talk about where to start fixing the ship. And 9 months later, they finish making all the systems work perfectly. Almost 15 years have passed on Rhea, and now the two of them are going back there together. As they get close to Rhea, they get a message from people on the planet, and the person talking to them is very happy to hear from the Nissa, which has become famous on the planet for being able to change how people treat each other. And with this, the movie finishes, so please subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.